Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tony and today we're talking about jailbreaking. But before we get into things, I quickly wanted to talk to you guys about Surfshark. They're by far the best VPN service that I personally have found here on the channel. If you guys are looking for one, definitely check them out. It's the first link in this video's description. You can save 83% and get 3 months entirely free, but we'll get more into that. Now, a VPN, for you guys who don't know, basically secures unsecured networks. If you guys are traveling and are doing things like banking, or really anytime you need to enter sensitive payment information, a VPN service is great to have. They have all of the latest and greatest features at a very low price, and they're constantly adding new features all of the time. My favorite aspect about them is you only need one account for all of your devices, and you can use all of your devices and have them all connected at the exact same time. That's something unheard of in the VPN industry. Now, I personally use their service whenever I'm on a public Wi-Fi network and also at home to unlock content from other libraries in different countries, like on Netflix, Hulu, heck, even YouTube. So if you guys haven't checked out Surfshark yet, I highly suggest you check them out. Again, it's the first link in this video's description. If you use the promo code ICU at checkout, you can get 83% off and 3 months entirely free. Now, I don't have too many updates for you. Unfortunately, this year has been pretty bleak and uneventful as far as jailbreak news goes. A staggering 181 days since the last major jailbreak utility. I mean, this is just not normal, guys. And so I thought this would be a perfect time to do a quick jailbreak update, recap everything that has happened this year and everything that is likely to come in the next few months, just to get everyone on the same page. Really, what you need to remember that I say in almost all of my jailbreak videos is stay on the lowest possible version of iOS that you possibly can. And that's because with every major iOS version that is released, more and more vulnerabilities are found and patched, and that just means they're available in older iOS versions. It's a good and a bad thing. Your device is less secure if you stay on an older version, but that also breeds the possibility of, if a security researcher or the people that found those bugs writes up a document on their research, makes a proof of concept exploit that can be turned into a jailbreak for those older firmwares. And that's really what we're waiting for. That's the big one that is completely unpredictable and is still the current state that we're at. We're waiting for someone to release their research about an exploit that can be turned into a jailbreak. So like I said, stay on the lowest possible version of iOS that you possibly can. If you're an advanced jailbreak user, save your blobs. If you don't know how to do that, I'll have another video linked down below to another YouTuber that did a great video on it. So like I was just talking about, with every major iOS version that gets released, more and more things are patched. That means there's less and less vulnerabilities to be turned into an exploit, etc. That is especially true for this year. iOS 14.5, 14.6, and 14.7 had a ton of notable kernel exploits that were patched in those versions. Along the same lines with iOS 15, right around the corner from being released, you can expect a ton of things to be patched within that. That just opens the doorway to more things that could potentially be exploited in iOS 14. So the release of iOS 15 is a good and a bad thing. I just talked about the good. Now the flip side of the story is when iOS 15 comes out, if a jailbreak developer has a 0-day exploit that no one else has discovered and they want to turn it into a jailbreak, they're obviously going to do it for iOS 15 and not iOS 14. So the question here is, when's the next jailbreak utility going to come? And what iOS version is it going to be for? Now that really is left entirely up in the air, because my money is that we're probably not going to see another jailbreak for iOS 14 until iOS 15 comes out at the very earliest, but my money is we'll just see one for iOS 15 a little bit earlier this year. That being said, do not update to the latest version of iOS still. if you guys really want to jailbreak on your main device. And the sad thing about this fact is even if a second jailbreak comes out for iOS 14 this year, when iOS 15 is out, is it really worth it? To me, the answer is yes. I prefer jailbreaking over iOS 15's features. It was a pretty lackluster year. I'm not too crazy excited about it, but the majority of people are just going to update to iOS 15 when that comes out. And so you just got to be aware of that. Weigh the pros and cons here and figure out what is the best option for you to do. Now the fallback here, which is just awesome that we have this, and talking about iOS 15 and jailbreaking, I can guarantee you the first jailbreak that's going to be out for iOS 15 is Check Rain for the iPhone 10 and earlier. And this may not sound super exciting for a lot of people because, who has an iPhone 10 anymore? It's not for the latest devices. The cool thing is I suggest getting an iPhone 10 or something older if you're that invested of, wanting to jailbreak on day one. Check Rain is easy and it's very quickly updated when a new iOS version comes out. I personally just have it as a spare phone that I occasionally rock just to check out some of the new jailbreak features. Now, the great news though is this indirectly benefits everyone in the jailbreaking community. If a jailbreak comes out for iOS 15, all of the tweak developers then basically have a testing device to update their tweaks to run on the new iOS version. So when a major jailbreak release comes out for all of the newer devices, most of the tweaks have already been updated. And speaking of new devices, along with iOS 15, the iPhone 13, presumably what it's going to be called, is also coming out in September. So, if we're this close to another jailbreak utility, we gotta be on the brink of a new jailbreak utility coming out because it's been so long since the last one came out. I personally would rather have it be for iOS 15 than for iOS 14, but it doesn't always work that way. If something was updated or patched in iOS 15, it's only going to work on iOS 14 and below. Again, this is all speculation right now, guys. It's awful that it's been this long since we've had a new jailbreak utility, but this really is what it is, unfortunately. But that's pretty much all the news we have at this point. Again, we're still waiting for an exploit to be released. The latest jailbreak utilities that are out there are Uncover and Taurine that work up to iOS 14.3 and below. Unfortunately, that is all we have. Unless you have an iPhone 10 or earlier, you can always use Check Rain. Check Rain works on the latest versions of iOS. Now, two cool updates here that I thought would be worth mentioning is Taurine was just recently updated to fix some of the boot looping issues. I personally use Taurine. I personally have never had any of those issues, but I still updated and it seems to be working great thus far. Secondly, along the lines of Check Rain, a new tweak just came out to let you enable the passcode on your iPhone while you're jailbroken. So still no Face ID, but for the iPhone 10 and iPhone 8 users, now you can enable a passcode while you're jailbroken. So pretty cool update there. Again, Check Rain works on the latest version of iOS right now. Taurine and Uncover only up to iOS 14.3. But that pretty much wraps up this video, guys. Stay tuned as we have a lot of awesome content coming for you surrounding this year's iPhone event, iOS 15, the Check Rain jailbreak when it gets updated for iOS 15, and of course, if there's any surprise news on another release of Uncover or Taurine that supports something higher than iOS 14.3. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you guys so much for the continued support. I'll catch you guys real soon.